Hello, good morning everyone. Thank you for joining another episode of Investing with All I See is W. Today, I wanted to share with you my outlook on 4 different trading accounts and why I select certain ones over the others. Okay, the 4 trading accounts that I'd like to share with you today are Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, Webull, and Etrade. Now, what's so unique about each of the 4 accounts and what are the main features that I prefer from all of the 4 accounts that I use? Right, so let's get started. So the first trading account I'd like to give you a breakdown on is Fidelity. So Fidelity is a great trading account because I feel like, there's the flexibility to open up, like a cash management account and also like a trading account. And what's so unique about Fidelity is, let's say if you have a trading account where you want to have also like a cash account as well, let's say if you want to have like a debit card, Fidelity will send you an actual Fidelity card for you to use. And the good thing about this is anytime when you use like the ATM machine to withdraw cash, although you will be charged for the fee for pulling out for ATM, you will automatically be provided the credit for using the ATM. So it's free of charge, right? So that's so unique about Fidelity. What I also like about Fidelity is the fact that when you make, let's say, like short-term day-to-day trading investments, there is flexibility with Fidelity where, let's say, if I were to buy like Facebook stocks today at a certain price, and let's say if I were happy with the price of getting out at the end of the day, if I were to sell, the profits, including what I initially had invested, will be available for trading into another ticker, right? It doesn't really show you like the settlement. However, please be mindful that there are certain restrictions that could put you into, a restriction where you're not able to trade, until you have the 2 days for your settlement to clear. Okay, so just be mindful of that and take a look at that. But what I know is Fidelity is much less restricted than other accounts like TD Ameritrade. Okay, so I like Fidelity because it's a simple trading tool, and I feel like given the flexibility of being able to like buy and sell very quickly, I personally like Fidelity, and that's where I spend most of my time in. All right, so now going over to the second trading account I'd like to talk about is TD Ameritrade. So the cool thing about TD Ameritrade is, like, let's say even when the market closes, let's say for example in the West Coast time it closes at 1 p.m. Now you have the aftermarket trading going on up through 5 p.m. so additional 4 hours. What I like about TD Ameritrade is you get the current price. Doesn't matter if it's the closing market price or if it's during aftermarket, you will see the current value of the share price reflected in. For example, if you look at the market value, that includes your price in the aftermarket. However, other accounts like Fidelity or Etrade, you won't necessarily see that reflection. So that's a cool thing that I like about TD Ameritrade. However, some of the downsides that I notice with TD Ameritrade is that it's less flexible, it's more restricted. So let's say for example, if you were to invest like 5,000 into your TD Ameritrade account, there is a 2-day settlement period. Or let's say if you were to buy or sell, your funds will not be available until 2 days post that transaction. So although TD Ameritrade is a fairly intuitive account to use, I feel like it's very restricted. So that's why I spend less of my time in this trading account. Although I do like the real-time aspect, including the news research available. Okay, now I wanted to jump over to Etrade. So now what's so unique about Etrade? We all know Etrade has been well established years ago, but in today's era, you have a wide number of different trading account tools that you can use. So Etrade is not the only one that most investors use. The good thing about Etrade is I noticed that it's very good for like technical investors who like to look at charts for trading and so forth. But with Etrade, I feel like I spend the least amount of time in Etrade unless I'm looking for like any news information that relate to the stocks that I'm currently invested in. So with Etrade, one unique thing that I know is, opening up like an IRA account, it's beneficial using the Etrade account. I know that Etrade has a solid program with its IRA account. And most importantly, let's say if you're a new day trader or investor, please be mindful of opening up an IRA account, because there are tax implications for benefits for you as an investor if you open up an IRA and making investments there. Okay, now the last trading account tool I would like to talk about is Webull, right? And Webull is sort of a new trading account tool, like in today's like era. In the past, like years ago, like a decade ago, we didn't hear much about Webull. But what I like about Webull is the real-time data that's available, including the data analytics that you're provided. Like, for example, if you type in a ticker on Webull and you look at the analysis, you'll see a breakdown. You'll see, a bell curve of all investors and what's the average cost price. So you're given additional information for you to have that knowledge piece with you so that you can make the right investment decisions. Now, currently, I don't have any funds in Webull. I personally like using Webull as a source to research and analyze stocks, looking at what financial analysts are saying, looking at the trend charts, looking at, like the RSI, looking at all the different technical fundamental variables you can switch it to. And I like looking at the 5-day moving average compared to the 20-day moving average to see, when do those intersections occur, so that I can deduce, whether the stock performance is going to trend up or down. So in terms of capability of Webull, I really like it for research and analysis on tickers, okay, but not necessarily using it as trading. I haven't added funds into Webull, and I intend not to, because I have, all 3 accounts like Etrade, Fidelity, and TD Ameritrade I'm leveraging right now. But who knows, I may switch, because I spend, most of my time in Fidelity, Webull, and TD Ameritrade. Okay, so I hope that this video was able to give you insight on, which application you should be using and what fits best to your own preference and strategy. Okay, I hope this gives you a breakdown in terms of what benefits each account has and what are the cons, and I hope that you make your own decision making on what account works best for you. Okay, thank you for watching another episode of Investing with All I See Is W. Thank you.